Hey everyone, Darren here, aka Irish Latino Reacts, Irish on the bottom, Latin American on top, and today I'm starting my Babylon 5 reaction journey. Alright everyone, very excited to get into a new sci-fi series that has been very highly touted. I've heard its name a lot in my comments of The Expanse, under my Expanse videos and Firefly videos here on YouTube. It is an older one. I think it's 93 to 98, something like that. Don't quote me. I don't know much about the series at all besides the fact that it is sci-fi. That's kind of how I like to keep it. I did browse or peruse the first couple sentences of Wikipedia, and it mentioned like interspecies war and upheaval and whatnot. So, but like I know next to nothing. So I'm very excited to go into something so blind. I am also excited about the fact I did read that very uncommon for the times. They called this like a novel for television, i.e., there's 5 seasons. I know that. And all 5 seasons were written and planned out from the very beginning. And I think we can all agree that those make the best shows. You can easily tell when there's a show that doesn't know if it's going to get renewed for a season 2, so they kind of make the season 1 like a quasi-rush finale and whatnot. Like there's so many examples like that that I can cite if I think about it. But yeah, super excited to get into this. I don't really know much about the cast either. I did notice quickly the only one I recognized off the bat was the person who plays Danielle Russo in Lost, and I liked her in that. I don't know her actress name at all, but I liked her in that. I haven't really seen her in anything else, so excited that she's part of the cast. Now, if you're new to my channel, you can see that it is a very, very new channel in and of itself, very young channel. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm trying to find another sci-fi show after Firefly, and I'm still wrapping up The Expanse as a Patreon only over there if you're interested in that. I'm finishing up season 5 right now, so there's a lot of content. But if this doesn't gain some traction quickly, I need to pivot again. I can't have my channel squander when it's still so young. So I'm going to try Babylon 5. If you guys want me to keep reacting to it, please leave a like, leave a comment, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button. I'd like to thank all of my Patreon supporters for always supporting me. If you'd like to join them and gain access to full-length reactions early, you can find a link down in the description below. Also, I have a dirt cheap $1 a month tier, which is there just for the sake of supporting me, an easy way to support me if you like what I do and you want me to keep doing it and want to show some love. But also, for just the $1 tier, if you comment on any of my edited videos over on Patreon, you will get guaranteed engagement from me. I can't respond to every comment under the sun on YouTube, but I do comment or respond to every one of the comments on Patreon. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're not yet subscribed, please really consider doing so. Helps out the channel so much. I know every channel under the sun says that, but it is so much more true for such a small channel as mine. Also, leave a like and leave a comment down below letting me know not only what you thought of this episode, but of my reaction to it. So, without further ado, very excited, let's get into the start of Babylon 5. Ragesh 3, Centauria, agricultural colony, couldn't catch all of that, and wow, look at that aspect ratio. Ooh, this is old school.
Watch Commander Isla reporting for duty.
Oh my god, look at that hair.
Wait, picking up disturbance. Jump point forming in Sector 3.
Jump point.
Great maker.
Warp pole?
Notify Centauri Prime!
Why is this even called Babylon 5? I don't know. Alright, some large mothership seemed to have blew up. Earth Alliance Station, 1030. Wow, those go really quick, huh? Things are moving really fast here. This is going to take me a little bit to catch up. Catch names, catch what's going on, plot. Obviously, everything's new right now, so forgive me. He's the commander. Got that.
All I'm asking is that you trust me.
That hair, man. I don't know if I can do
my
it.
brain will be 5 days dead before I ever trust a Centauri. You told us you practically ran the entire galaxy. What was it you said?
Was that a lie?
Empire, man.
So he's Centauri.
Only that hasn't been true for almost 100 years. Until we finally got our hands on some Centauri DNA and find out we're not related at all.
Thank God.
Appearances aside, we're two completely different species.
Do you know what your problem is, Mr. Garibaldi? You're
Do
not
you?
a people person.
Ambassador.
Mr. Garibaldi, have you met my diplomatic
I
staff?
guess at least the
Just
hair makes
arrived
them
from the
easily
whole world.
distinguishable.
This
The
is
Centauri.
it.
Ambassador.
Yes, Veer, what is it?
Our colony, Ragesh 3, our agricultural colony,
Yes, I know
Ooh.
what
Is
it
that
is.
what
What
blew
about
up?
it?
it's under attack.
Oh.
No provocation, no warning.
Who launched the attack?
I don't know. No one does.
Looks like a Star Fox 64 video game right there with the graphics. Okay, someone's attacking the Centauri's
It was the dawn of the
agriculture.
third age of mankind.
Okay.
10 years after the
Intro.
Earth-Minbari War. The Babylon Project was a dream given form. Its goal, to prevent another war by creating a place where humans and aliens could work out their differences peacefully.
Okay, that's what the Babylon Project was, or is. All get to intermingle the different species.
Humans and aliens wrapped in 2,500,000 tons of spinning metal.
All right.
All
So
alone in
this
the night.
is, that ship is Babylon 5, I take it?
But it's our last best hope for peace. The year is 2258.
Okay.
The name of the place is Babylon
So this is
5.
the 5th of 5 ships. 2258, that's similar to the time of the Expanse. Ver. Midnight on the firing
Commander
line.
Sinclair, as the official representative of the Centauri Republic, I demand to know what information your government has concerning Ragesh 3.
We know it's been attacked, but that's all.
What have you heard from Centauri Prime?
Nothing.
Okay.
No answer.
Was that the ship? The
no one is
mothership, maybe?
talking.
So you have my sincerest condolences for your losses.
You know nothing about this attack, Shakar?
I'm as astonished as you are.
It's an agricultural base, strictly a civilian operation.
I suggest we contact our governments and see what they know.
That'd be a
Then we'll call an emergency
big
session
provocation
of the Council of
to-
the League of Non-Aligned Worlds. We'll do whatever we can to help.
To attack a civilian ship.
We're picking up a long-range distress signal from a ship near the secondary jump point. At first, I was afraid it had something to do with the attack on Ragesh 3, but it's an Earth-registered ship. And the last distress signal mentioned raiders.
I knew they'd be back sooner or
Raiders.
later.
Huh.
Okay, I'll grab a
Use
fighter,
that
check
term in
it
this
out.
too.
We just lost the signal.
Firefly. No, that's Reavers. Oh my god, I'm stupid. Take that back.
Lieutenant Commander Ivanova.
Yes.
Talia Winters, licensed commercial telepath, Psychor rating P5. I was assigned to Babylon 5 a few weeks ago. Psychor regulations require me to log in with the second in command. I've tried to reach you 3 times, but I guess you've been busy. I figured I'd try the direct approach.
Your diligence is commendable. Anything else?
I like her.
No, I just...
Then you'll excuse me, but I'm in the middle of 15 things, all of them annoying. Thank you for coming by.
I really like her. She's one of the commanders, I take it. Not her, the one I like. She was named Winters, the other one. So he's a commander too, but he's going up in a ship like a pilot? I don't know, I guess his rank is opaque
In other
to me.
news, the race between incumbent Earth Alliance President Luis Santiago and challenger Marie Crane continues to tighten as election
Santiago
day
and
nears.
Crane. Okay, so election year on Earth.
Thought I'd see if there's any word yet from Earth Central in the Centauri problem.
No, they've had plenty of time to digest the reports, but so far, nothing.
Who do you think attacked the colony? The Narns, the Minbari?
Not the Minbari. It's not their way. They're too honorable to pull something like this.
Okay.
I'm surprised to hear you describe the Minbari that way. After all, you fought them during the war.
I've never seen the Minbari fight
Northern
dishonorably.
Noise.
They never
Minbari
pull a
are
sneak
not
attack.
dishonorable, okay.
Perhaps. Any word yet on the election?
They said 5 points.
It's going to be close.
Like incumbent had 5
So-
points on him, right?
Who are you voting for?
I think I'll vote for Marie Crane.
You don't ask someone who they're voting for. Come on.
I do not like Santiago. I've always thought that a leader should have a strong chin. He has no chin, and his vice president has several. This to me is not a good combination.
I want to see pictures of these people now to corroborate her statements.
Ambassador!
Veer?
Ambassador,
This guy's
there's
Veer.
a coded signal coming in from Homeworld. It's a relay from the monitor station from Ragesh 3.
All right, let's see.
Great maker.
Activating mines. Notify Centauri Prime.
Who would do this? Why? Enhance.
Okay.
That is a Narn heavy fighter.
Narn. All right, that was the other.
That bastard Jakar. He said he knew nothing of this.
There's other species that the commander mentioned. Jakar. You have to remind me who that is.
Stripped to the bone.
Is he Jakar?
Negative. No survivors.
I like the music.
With something bigger than standard Raider guns.
Really puts you in the mood.
Major weaponry here.
Ambassador Molari, please join me.
Molari.
Would you like some spoons?
So what species is this guy?
Is it?
Ooh.
You bastard.
Huh.
You won't get away with this. We'll strike back.
So he's
we'll strike back hard.
Anari?
I assume you're referring to the attack on Ragesh 3 by our forces. Just found out about it myself.
Huh.
I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation.
What reasonable explanation is there for the slaughter of unarmed civilians?
Curious, we wondered the same thing when you invaded our world. The wheel turns, does it not, Ambassador?
We should have wiped out your kind when we had the chance.
What happened? Run out of small children to butcher?
You'll pay.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, dark quick.
Let me go! Listen to me, Ambassador. Your time has come and gone. It's our turn now. One night you'll wake up and find our teeth at your throat. Sleep well, Ambassador.
So a lot of animosity despite this Babylon project. Okay, okay. It's an intriguing scene right there. I like it.
I apologize for the incident with Jakar, Commander.
I said that was
a
Jakar.
mistake.
Makes sense. Well, I mean, you confirmed that his people attacked the colony, though.
My people, we have a way, you see. We know how, and sometimes even when, we are going to die.
That's
Come in
horrible.
a dream, huh?
Ah, no, thank you.
In my dream, I am an old man. It's 20 years from now, and I am dying. My hands wrapped around someone's throat, and his around mine. The first time I saw Jakar, I recognized him as the one from the dream.
Okay.
20 years from now, we will die with our hands around each other's throats.
20 years is a long time.
Season 5,
Long
maybe.
enough for your people to come to an understanding.
Believe as you wish. Me, I need another drink.
Here. With that hair.
I think we have a chance to put together a coalition against the Narn attack.
Good.
So just Narn
The
or
Narns have to be
Narni?
stopped.
Narns, okay.
Now, while we still can. Khan is my nephew. He wanted to enter the Centauri military. I told him it was a waste of his skills. The truth is, I was afraid for him. I wanted him someplace safe, away from all of this. So I personally arranged for him to have a higher position as head researcher on Ragesh 3.
Oh no. He might be dead now. That's sad.
Tonight, I don't know if he is alive or dead.
I like this guy's acting and I like his accent. It's the fucking hair, man.
I know this is hard for you, but if this escalates into war, you'll give the Narns exactly what they want, a chance to divide us so they can move in. Babylon 5 is here to help keep the peace.
On the issue of galactic peace, it's all a game, a paper fantasy of names and borders.
Wow. Great way to put
Only
it.
one thing matters, Commander. Blood.
You're just an ambassador, though. You're not.
This I swear to you, Commander.
You're not a commander of the Centauri, are
This
you?
I swear.
Just an ambassador sent to Babylon 5. So I don't know what influence he has.
There were 15 bodies on that ship we found. We got a war breaking out in Ragesh 3, pirates at work over here. You ask me, the universe is going to hell in a handbasket.
This makes the third time in a month the raiders have hit a ship in this sector. They're getting bolder.
And a lot more powerful. The weapons they hit the supply ship with are bigger than anything the raiders have ever used before. Thing is, transport routes are kept secret so they can avoid being attacked like this.
It sounds like there's a leak.
I'm checking into it now.
Good.
So I'm getting confused because this guy is not the same as the guy from the previous scene, but they look kind of similar. This guy right here just has a mean widow's peak. Yeah.
Ambassador Kosh, Commander Sinclair.
Now that I see it, they don't look that much alike, but it was confusing just for, you know, first time watching first episode, forgive me. He's the commander, the other guy was a pilot. Who's he going to see?
Greetings, Commander.
You weren't at the council room
Different
earlier.
colors,
I wanted
tiles.
to make sure you knew about the emergency session.
Yes.
Obviously a
You may
different
need your help to push
species
through
here.
sanctions. Will you attend the emergency meeting?
How? Seems like he needs like his own atmosphere to survive. Different type of atmosphere.
They are a dying people. We should let them pass.
Who?
Yeah, who?
The Narn or the Centauri?
Probably neither.
Yes.
Helpful.
Mr. Garibaldi.
Garibaldi.
You're sitting in my station. Using my
Okay,
equipment.
that's an easy way to remember him.
Is there a reason for this, or to save time, should I just go ahead and snap your hands off at the wrist?
All incoming ships log their flight path through your console. So I'm backtracking to find out which company sold the routes to those supply ships.
The council meeting, the emergency session.
The council can go to hell. And the emergency session can go to hell. And you can go to hell too. I wouldn't want you to feel left out.
That's funny.
Londo, why are you doing this?
Because we are a race of lunatics and cowards.
What?
I finally received word from our glorious leaders. Do you know what that convention of genetic defectives have decided to do about the attack on Ragesh 3?
Probably they're going to...
After full consideration of the situation, the great Centauri Republic, the lion of the galaxy...
They're gonna do nothing?
...will do nothing.
Lunatics and cowards, that might be the worst combination
Because
of adjectives I've ever heard.
Is too far, too small, too unimportant to risk a confrontation.
I thought
And
it was
besides, by the time our ships
agriculture.
got there...
Is your nephew alive? Or dead?
Besides, by the time our ships got there, everyone would be dead anyways.
Oh, would be.
Londo.
So he's thinking his nephew is as good as dead.
Damn all of them! You will not repeat a word of this. We have heard nothing. Is that clear? If we can get the others to step in, perhaps we can embarrass those idiots back home into doing something. Do you understand?
Jakar.
I see we have similar habits. Before going into battle, I also need to walk in the green for a moment. We've recently managed to restore a few forests on my world. It was all green, of course. Before the Centauri stripped it bare.
Yeah. Deep-seated animosity, those two species.
I will confess that I look forward to the day when we have cleansed the universe of the Centauri and carved their bones into little flutes for Narn children. This is a dream I have.
Be careful, Ambassador. Not every dream I've heard lately ends well for you.
In our position, you would do the same. Our two worlds, our two species are more alike than you might think.
How?
I would remind you that we were one of the few who would supply you with the weapons you needed in your war with the Minbari. We supported
I thought the Minbari were peaceful.
You owe us.
Not a chance. You didn't support anyone. Narns will sell to anyone who can afford the credits. That'll give you points on one thing, Ambassador. We are alike in one respect. We've had plenty of experience with sneak attacks. Pearl Harbor, the terrorist nuking of San Diego, the destruction of our first Mars colony. It's a long and bloody history. Do you know what we learned from it? That the sneak attack is the first resort of a coward.
Just a minute.
You didn't even have the decency to pick a military target, a poorly armed civilian colony.
Yeah.
What a challenge that must have been to the great Narn military.
Great point. Great point.
What's wrong, Ambassador? Don't have the guts for a fair fight?
Ooh.
In another place, I would have you skinned alive for saying that.
You want me. You know where to find me.
I missed this.
See you in council.
This commander's name. I'm endearing to him too.
Commander, we got trouble.
Okay. Glad I
We're
see
down
them
on the
both in the
Raiders'
same
operation.
scene.
The shipping companies buy access to the jump gates in bulk, then sell it on the open market. One company sold the routes for all the supply ships that have been hit. Turns out their data crystals suddenly just blew out last month, flatlined the whole system.
Sounds like someone cracked their data bank.
Exactly. Only one ship booked before the data crash hasn't been attacked yet. My guess is they'll hit it in 6 hours when it comes out of hyperspace. There are over 500 men, women, and children on that ship. If the Raiders get there before we do, they're dead.
Ooh. Uh-oh. One other ship to save.
You have got the entire Senate up in arms over this, Commander. You've exceeded your authority.
If we don't stop the Narn aggression, they'll just keep coming. The only way to do that is to get the Council to authorize military intervention.
Damn it, don't you realize that we've got an election in less than 24
Is this
hours?
Santiago?
Senator, colonists are dying out there.
That's not the issue. We just came out of one war, Commander. What are you trying to do, start another? The Earth Alliance can't go around being the galaxy's policeman. They want to fight it out, let them. Just keep us out of it, at least till after the election. Earth has to take a neutral position.
But
Interesting.
that will damage the Centauri case. If we pull out, others might do the same.
Not our problem. Those are your instructions. This discussion is concluded.
Delta Flight is standing by, ready to intercept the raiders.
Well, I hope they're loaded for bear. From what Garibaldi says, the raiders are packing some pretty big guns, and
Commander?
that might be it. Tell Garibaldi to stand down. I'm taking his place with Delta Flight.
Should I postpone the council meeting?
No. Look, if I'm at that meeting, I'll have to do something I don't want to do, so let it go on without me. You can take my place on the council. Don't worry, it's all on the agenda. Just take the vote and see what everyone wants to do.
Any other instructions, Commander?
Lots of them. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find you before I left, so you never heard about any orders from Earth Central.
Ah.
Last thing you heard, we were voting for sanctions.
Ah ha ha.
There.
Crystal.
Yes, sir. Clear as crystal.
So the commander this time is actually a pilot, or piloting one of these ships. Do I have that right?
Preparing for jump.
Yep. Ugh.
This meeting of the Babylon 5 Council and the League of Non-Aligned Worlds is called to order. We are convened to vote on sanctions against the Narn regime. Ambassador Jakar...
I would like to remind the Council that before the Centauri Republic invaded our sector and began the 100-year reign of terror,
100-year.
Ragesh III was a Narn colony. Now that we are free of the invaders, it is our right to reclaim it.
We recognize the prior claim, but the reality is that Ragesh III has been Centauri property for over a century. To start a war over blood spilled so long ago, where does it end? You kill them and take their land. They kill you and take the land back. On and on and on. A cycle of hatred.
Justice, not hatred. We have no desire to start a war.
Uh-huh. You've already displayed you have no love lost for the Centauri.
This sector is the last transfer point for the refugees. If the raiders are going to hit anywhere, this has got to be it.
This came for the peaceful liberation of Ragesh III. We did not fire first, and I can prove it.
You can prove that? It's interesting.
We're
That's
about to
true.
receive a live broadcast from Ragesh III. I believe it may clarify the debate.
My name is Karn Malari.
Oh, his nephew.
I am head researcher and project director for the Ragesh III agricultural colony.
The nephew, I would add, of our own esteemed ambassador, Lando Molari.
In the last 6 months, there have been violent outbreaks created by division among our many colonists. We asked for help from Centauri Prime. There was no reply. Faced with chaos and anarchy, the Ragesh III Administrative Council asked for assistance from the neighboring Narn regime.
That's not true.
We have chosen, of our own free will, to ally ourselves with the Narn government.
They asked Centauri for help and they didn't come, so then they allied themselves with...
Don't you understand? Can't you see what they're trying to do? They forced him to read that statement. I'm sure they threatened to kill him. It's a lie.
If you want to talk about lies, Ambassador, what about your lie of omission? Is it not true that your own world has voted against taking any actions in response to the liberation of Ragesh III?
Ooh, that is
Then
true.
why have you asked this council to take actions that even your own government considers inappropriate?
Okay, fair question.
This council should not be used to carry out your own personal vendettas.
Ooh, all right, all right.
I move that this council now vote to dismiss all charges against the Narn regime.
So what is he saying, though? Who attacked Ragesh III first? If it wasn't... You saw Narn ships on the display in Lando's quarters. I'm confused a little bit. But, I mean, that should be expected in the first episode, right?
Repeat, surrender your vessels or be destroyed. I assume I can take that as a no. And cut velocity now.
Commander, aren't we heading the wrong way? The raiders went in the opposite direction.
Exactly. Which is what I'd do if I wanted to decoy fighters away from a command and control ship.
Picking up transmissions.
like that.
All right, mothership.
Gotcha.
I like that. Like earworm music there. The sound, like the music, you know, effects are really nice. I wouldn't call it a soundtrack yet. It's just like, I'll find a better terminology for what I'm trying to describe. The sounds in my ears, I like. Grunt, grunt. Very atmospheric.
Calls out for blood.
Sealing a weapon there. Londo.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, is she like... Does she have telepathy?
If you'll excuse me.
She
Ambassador, no!
telepathist? Is that a word?
Garibaldi.
Londo,
Mr. Garibaldi.
I have to talk to you.
You'll excuse me another time.
What's wrong with now? You have someplace special to go?
I have to shoot someone.
Mr. Garibaldi, get out of my way.
No, I can't.
Okay, so the telepathist already told him.
Quarters, Londo.
No.
Don't force me to make this official.
No!
I don't want to do it, but you lay one finger on a weapon and I'll kill you where you stand.
You don't understand.
Yes, I do. I understand better than you'll ever know. I know the things it makes you want to do, but this isn't the way. Not now and not here.
He's my blood, my nephew.
But if you kill Jakar, none of those colonists will get out alive. You have to
Right,
know
at least
that.
you have confirmation that your nephew's alive. Yeah.
Well, it seems I'm still on target for my appointment 20 years from now.
Huh. I do like
Ambassador.
his cape.
In 1 hour, I'm going to have to check your quarters for weapons. Make sure I don't find anything.
Well,
Mr. Garibaldi.
Hidden in that tea kettle or whatever it is.
Would you really have killed me?
Yes, I would have.
I mean, of course he'd
But this is right,
answer
I
you
didn't
that
have
way.
to.
Of course he would answer yes.
Paperwork's a pain in the butt.
So that doesn't really mean anything to me. And it shouldn't to Londo. I do think Londo's my favorite character so far. It's his fucking hair.
I'm afraid there is, Ambassador. And I'm afraid it's you.
We managed to drive the raiders out of this sector, at least for now, but look what I found on the command and control ship.
A Narn.
Jen, Davul, Tosh.
I kept wondering where the raiders were getting their heavy weapons. Then I thought about our conversation. Narns will sell to anyone who can afford to pay, just like they did during the war. Your government always provides an advisor to show how to operate the weapons and to make sure they aren't resold to a third party.
When the ship docked and we went inside, we found these data crystals. They contain reports the captain here monitored between Ragesh 3 and Narn Central Command.
They confirm everything Ambassador Malari said about the attack on the Centauri colony.
Okay.
That it was unprovoked, and that the invitation was made at the point of a gun. Now, it seems to me that you have two choices.
So he was
Tell your
right
forces
about
on Ragesh 3 to withdraw.
his nephew
Or we bring
being
this
forced to say
evidence
that.
to the council. Your choice, Ambassador.
Polls. I almost forgot to vote. Better get going. Then it's a quiet evening at my place and my second favorite thing in the universe, assuming I can find someone to share it with.
Garibaldi, I don't even want to know.
I want to know.
Incumbent President Luis Santiago leads Marie Crane by 12%, though outlying regions may favor the challenger.
Water?
Like Mars, does Mars vote on this? Or something? Mars is independent in the expanse, but it doesn't seem like that is the case here. Or it might not be the case. I don't really have any evidence either way. So why does Miss Telepathy want to talk to
I wanted to
Uranova?
thank you for your help this afternoon.
So...
The situation with the Centauri ambassador?
Oh, it was an accident, really.
Yeah,
I've
lucky.
been trained to block out casual thoughts, but when you hit something that powerful...
I understand. I feel I should explain my behavior earlier.
I'm a
I
cold
just
hard
wanted to know
bitch.
if it was me.
I like her for that. That's a compliment. Please.
It's what
Don't
you
cancel me.
represent.
It's what she represents that she doesn't like. Okay.
My mother was like you, a telepath.
Okay.
None of us
There's
ever
the
knew
noun.
it was her secret since she was a girl. And she wasn't trained. She was never able to use it well.
Well, that's why we have the Psychor, to help telepaths, bring out their talents to the fullest.
Yes, I imagine that's what they told you. Were you raised by the Corps? And you never had to make the choice. When they discover what you are, they give you three choices. You can either join the Psychor, or go to prison, or agree to take certain drugs for the rest of your life. Drugs that inhibit your telepathic abilities.
That's the law. Unregistered telepaths have to be controlled in order to protect the privacy of others.
That makes sense.
Have you ever seen the results? They caught up with my mother on her 35th birthday. She didn't want to join the Corps, didn't want to go to prison. So they gave her the treatment. For 10 years, a man in a gray suit came to the door once a week. And he gave her the injections.
Okay.
They were strong. Every day, we just watched her drift further and further away from us.
Hmm.
The light in her eyes just went out bit by bit.
Oh, it's sad.
And when we thought she could go no further, she took her own life.
Hmm. That's really sad.
Sorry. What happened back then is not your fault, but it's part of what you are. And yet you're as much of a victim as my mother.
This is why she acted so cold earlier to her.
I don't feel like a victim.
And so far, I cannot tell if that is good or bad.
Ooh, I like that dialogue.
Perhaps tomorrow we can start out on better terms.
I very much doubt it.
Good night. I like that dialogue as well. Wow. Instead of I very much hope so, I very much doubt it. Good writing. Ah!
Is that it?
I was about to say, glad it's a cartoon. Planet X is a little too corny.
Because there's no one knows his way around outer space.
It's a cartoon.
Dodgers in the 24th and a half century.
God, I love this stuff.
She doesn't get it.
Smart to me again.
Is she not used to popcorn?
With 70% of the vote tallied, we are declaring incumbent President Luis Santiago the victor over challenger Marie Crane.
I want to see
Santiago's
an
campaign
image
was
of Marie
based on a
Crane.
promise to cut the budget and to keep Earth out of war. His agenda for the coming term includes creating a closer relationship with the Mars colony and a greater emphasis on preserving Earth cultures in the face of growing non-Terran influences.
And
Guess he didn't like the. Guess he didn't like that. Whoa! That ended abruptly. Oh man. I was just saying. I'm guessing the commander didn't like the results of the election, and he's like, kind of the main character, but I don't want to say that so definitively, but he's like the one's name that I haven't caught yet. I'm gonna look him up for the outro here. Okay, let's talk about episode 1 of Babylon 5, shall we? All right, just a few things about the channel in general if this is your first time watching me on YouTube. One, you see my pug down there? Where is he? There he is. His name is Frank. Sometimes he'll jump onto my lap. I typically do these reactions when my wife is at work. She works second shift, so she's not here in the evenings sometimes. So he'll get antsy and he'll jump on my lap, and there's nothing I can do about it. I don't let him distract me from the reaction, but if you find him distracting on screen, well, there's nothing I can do about it. That will happen from time to time. So just a warning there. The second little thing is that sometimes I will script my intros. I didn't really do it this time around, but sometimes you'll see I'll have a long intro and I'll script it, and then I'll have like cuts and this and that. For my outros here, after the reactions, that's what I call them, intros and outros, to keep it simple. My outros, I never edit, I never script, I just go for it. So if I ramble a little bit, if I have a little more uhs or ums, forgive me that way. But I think people tend to appreciate the candidness of the outros a lot, how I just go for it. So let's go for this. And I'm actually a little nervous talking about Babylon 5 for the first time, because there's obviously a lot to say. Being the first episode, there's so much to take in. There's world building going on, there's character building going on, and there's a lot of information swishing by you, right? Names to catch and whatnot. I think I did a pretty okay job. We have the Centuri race, which the guys with the crazy hair, so they're easily distinguishable. So I guess that's going to be helpful, though I'm not a fan of the hair. But we have Londo, who is... I like him as a character. I like his acting. I like his accent and kind of his outlook on the current situation, which we'll get into in a moment. We have Ver, who's also his underling or his acolyte, whatever. We have the Narn, and they're the reptilian looking dudes. And I do, sorry, I'm like kind of going over things that people who are familiar with the show know already, but like just give me this a little bit for the first episode so I can get it straight and make my future reactions that much higher quality. Narn, reptilian, Jakar is that guy's name, because isn't Jakar a country somewhere? But it's spelled differently, but it just phonetically it sounds like the country, so that's easy to remember. And then we have, of course, people on Earth. I just looked up the captain's name or the commander's name, Sinclair. We have Ivanova, I guess second in command, also with the title of commander. We have Garibaldi, seems to be a pilot of sort, but I'm sure his rank is something different. He's not pilot, but like I'll have to catch his rank. And then we have the telepath. I believe her last name is Winters. So those are pretty much most of the characters we met this time. I like an ensemble cast. Hopefully that's going to grow. I didn't see the actors who I mentioned at the beginning in the intro. But yeah, so already right off the bat, we're getting strife between these different, I guess I'll call them species, right? Centauri, Narn, Earthers, I guess. And then what is the Munbabi is the other one mentioned but not yet seen, the one who seemed to be peaceful. And you feel the tension on Babylon 5, and you already get some inklings of history. The Narn and the Centauri have had a 100-year war, and so their animosity is deep. Those cuts go. So yeah, that like even though the idea of the Babylon project is interspecies relationships and whatnot for the goal of peace across the solar system, I guess I'll call it, doesn't seem to be working too well. I mean, there's just it's just too deep-seated, at least for the Narn and Centauri that we've learned, and I'm excited to learn about other species and their relationships and their histories with other species and whatnot, Earth and the Munbabi and all that. There's going to be a lot of like interweaving, interconnecting relationships and histories that I'm excited to learn about. So Babylon 5 is the 5th ship in this project to once again to bring all of these people together, to intermingle ambassadors from this, that, and the other, and a place for them all to hopefully have diplomacy, right? And I wonder what like the justice system is like. So that's going to be interesting. So did the other 4 ships get destroyed, fail? Were they just smaller and they had to be repurposed or like updated? Like, all right, we need a bigger ship for this and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. So excited to learn about that history as well. So I do applaud the first episode with planting a lot of seeds where like, oh, I want to learn more about that. There's got to be some history there. And oh, I want to learn more about that. There's got to be some history there. And I am confident that I'm going to get a lot of those answers trickled in over time because, like I said at the beginning, it's like a novel for television. A lot of this was thought out through 5 seasons. So I'm really, really excited to see how that keeps the quality of the series up and how it keeps it going. So now, the graphics. Obviously, I can't expect too much from 93. I guess I wish I had it on the screen here, but I don't. I think it's early 90s, let's say. Yeah, they're pretty rough, especially coming off while I'm still doing The Expanse, which graphics are like utterly mind-blowing. And Firefly 2002, I was always very complimentary of those graphics for that time. I thought they were perfectly fine. This has crossed a line to where like, yeah, that's gonna take me out of it a little bit, maybe? I don't know. I don't want to jump the gun on that aspect. Maybe the graphics will become less important because the story becomes that much more. That's like my hope. The story's so good, and the dialogue's so good, maybe, and the acting is so good, and I'm not saying the acting was amazing this episode. There's some, but like hopefully it gets there. All that is so good that the graphics are like, it doesn't matter. You know, you can still get into what's happening on the screen in a space battle, that this ship getting blown up in a really, you know, poorly graphic explosion, but maybe the meaning of that explosion is still breathtaking and what, you know, to the narrative. So that's kind of what I'm hoping where we get to with this series. So yeah, I didn't talk too much about exactly what happened in this episode. Like the Narn attacked the Razgal 3, like an agricultural colony, non-weaponized of the Centuri, and Jakar tried to sell it off like they were invited and it was provoked in some way, but they were able to prove that it wasn't when they found that the Narn were selling weapons to these raiders that were hitting these ships and whatnot. Yeah, so sometimes I'll talk about the narrative. Sometimes people don't like that when I'm like talking about plot, but I find it hard to avoid it sometimes because okay, this happened, that happened, that happened. But every time I say this happened, well, then I talk about how it made me feel and what I thought about that. And then, okay, now next this happened. And then I'll talk about how that made me feel and what I thought about that event. So I don't know how to avoid saying what happened in the episode to a certain extent, right? But either way, I won't do too much here. I guess I'll end on Ivanova and Winter's conversation at the end. Really great conversation, and it gave some good backstory about Ivanova. Hopefully I'm pronouncing her name right. If I'm not, I'll correct it. And how her mother was a telepath, and she got drugged because she didn't want to go into the Psi Corps, or there was a third option. I don't know. She didn't want to either. And yeah, I thought the dialogue in that episode was really good, especially where Winter says, "I'm not a victim," and Ivanova says, "I know, and I'm not sure whether that's a good thing or bad thing anymore. Hopefully we can start out on a better terms tomorrow." And she goes, I doubt it. So I like the writing so far. I think I'm sure it's just going to get better. I thought some of the acting was quite good. I thought some of the acting was a little shaky and some of the lines were delivered a little quick. But I thought that Battlestar is one of my favorite shows of all time. You'll know. I'm sure I'll mention it every once in a while. I thought some of these criticisms I just talked about with Babylon 5, this first episode, I had with Battlestar at the beginning. It just got better. So like I'm not worried about any of that at all. I see the seeds of good dialogue and good acting and whatnot poking through. So I'm sure they're just going to grow. And in The Expanse, I had some of those at the beginning, some of those criticisms as well. Well, all right, guys. I hope you like that beefy outro. That's kind of usually how they go. And I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you all for watching this reaction with me here on YouTube. Like I said in the intro, if you are not yet subscribed, please really consider doing so. Helps out the channel so much. And I know every channel under the sun says that, but it's so much more true for such a small channel as mine. If you like what I do and you want me to keep doing it, hitting that subscribe button is one of the best ways to do it, short of joining my Patreon. Also, leave a like and leave a comment down below letting me know not only what you thought of this episode, but of my reaction to it. All right, guys, thanks so much for giving my channel a chance, and I will see you all in the next reaction.